Hello again. Welcome to the Healthy Enterprise Podcast. If you're back for more, thank you for joining me again. And if it's your first time around, well, I hope you enjoy this episode. My guest is Elissa Zylbershlag. She'll be impressed that I said her name properly, and she is the founder of WorkWise Labs. Alissa specializes in proactive HR strategies, one-on-one coaching with managers, and engaging workshops that make leadership and team building both fun and effective. Whether it's preventing small issues from becoming big ones or fixing what's already broken, Alissa equips organizations with the tools to foster a more positive, productive, and happy work environment. What a great concept. Please welcome Elissa Zylbershlag. So hello, Alissa. How are you today?
I'm great, Heath. How are you?
I'm really good. Thanks for joining me on this episode. I'm looking forward to hearing more about WorkWise Labs and about your professional career as a coach. So why don't you start there and just introduce yourself to listeners and tell us about yourself and your business.
Sure. You don't want to say my last name?
Zylbershlag?
Did
I get it
how
right?
about I do it?
Alyssa, you do it.
So thanks. So my name is Elissa Zylbershlag, and I am the owner of WorkWise Labs. And it's a company that I started about 2 years ago, actually a little over 2 years ago. And it happened very organically. I was an anti-bias educator for more than 20 years, and I worked in the nonprofit world mostly, and then a little touch of government at the end, state
Mm-hmm.
government. And over those years, I was very much focused on the anti-bias education part, but slowly everything started coming together that it was very connected with having a positive work environment. So it was
Before you
probably,
go any further,
yes,
can you explain an anti-biased education?
what anti-bias education is.
Yeah, explain what that is, because I don't even know if I know and completely, and there's probably listeners that don't know, and I'd like to maybe make sure we explain what that is before we go on.
Sure, of course. So anti-bias education is means that you're working to have a more just, fair, and equitable world. So I worked um, with, it started with schools mostly. I was working with students and teachers,
Mm-hmm.
and we would go in and we would talk about discrimination and bias and hate and what that looks like. And, schools are like a hotbed of that,
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anything and
much.
everything go.
But I will say that as my career progressed, I also realized that the workplace is a
It's
hotbed
the
of
same.
that. And then I realized, wait a minute, families are a hotbed of that, and friend groups are a hotbed of that. And that, like, basically,
Before
everywhere,
you know it, it's
before you
everywhere.
know it, there's bias and hate and discrimination, and it's pretty intense. And having those
Yeah.
conversations is like a really intense thing. And it's really personal to people. It's people's life
Yeah.
experiences, you
Absolutely. It
you know.
forms us, it becomes a foundation for how other people see the world too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And stereotypes exist. They're culture by culture, right? So
Right.
the stereotypes that you have in Canada are different than the stereotypes that I have here. I've grown up with in New Jersey, and I always tell a story, and I used to always tell the story in trainings around stereotypes that when after college I went and I lived on a kibbutz in Israel, which is like a socialist group. Like, Israel was made up originally back when it started of different kibbutzes, and it's like a socialist living environment. Everybody,
Okay.
like, you share. There's a
Communal
food
living.
yeah, it's communal
Yeah.
living, there's a food, like a cafeteria, everyone eats there. There was a children's house for many years, like, the children didn't even live with their parents for many years. Anyway, they changed that because that turned out to not be good for the kids.
That didn't work out. No.
That did not work out. It was an
Yeah.
experiment, right?
Sure.
And and,
Sure.
and there's not a lot of kibbutzim left, but I went and I lived on a kibbutz. And when I was on the kibbutz, it was in the late 90s. And there were a lot of Russian immigrants at the time. And so I lived in a house with all of these Russian immigrants. And what do I like? I don't have any ideas about Russian people. I mean, it's not something that existed in my culture and my worldview at the
Right.
time. I didn't, and the stereotypes that Israelis had about Russians were very distinct and very loud. And I was like very surprised about it, but just to drive the point home that like all of these stereotypes about Russians, for example, in Israel existed that did not exist here in I'm
Right.
in America in America. And so, we all everybody has all these ideas and all of there's all of this stuff. So that's anti-bias education, just talking about that, understanding that. And
That's great. Thank you for explaining that.
and bringing people to an understanding of life views and that it's okay that it's like different, different
Yeah.
does not mean bad. So
Right. Right.
right. And eventually I started working for the Division on Civil Rights in New Jersey, where I developed programming for the public, education and training for the public around like against the law to better understand the laws of New Jersey, the anti-discrimination laws of New Jersey. And it just kind of burnt me out. It was like
Yeah.
dark. It's a lot of really dark, heavy conversations and I started to realize that the goal of all of this was to create places that were positive and in harmony. And I'm a very positive person by nature. And
Hmm.
so I came across this whole idea of positive psychology. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Have you heard of
Uh,
positive
I've heard
psychology?
of it. I'm not. You'll have to go in a bit deeper, but I have heard of it. Yes.
Well, it like really intrigued me. So, psychology is about diagnosing problems and fixing those problems, right? Like, so it's like bringing people back up to zero.
Oh, okay.
And positive psychology is like, well, instead of looking at what's wrong with people, let's look at what's right with people and that
Right.
brings people health and wellness and gets them to flourish in life.
Right. Okay.
And
Yeah.
so it's like everything above zero. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
amazing." So I
that's
went
interesting. Yeah, I like
yeah,
that.
it's super interesting.
It
And
it makes me think of like in in school you were always sort of, well, what are you not good at? Let's teach you more of what you're not good at. And they didn't really focus on what we were good at. It's like, oh well, why don't you give me more of what I'm good at? Because then I'll get even better at it. Instead, well, you're not good at math, so we're gonna make you do math more. And I'll never get better at math anyway. So
yeah,
it's
so
kind
well,
of makes me think of that.
it's
Focusing on the things that
exactly
are
that's exactly it. So the father of positive psychology is this guy named Dr. Martin Seligman, and he's out of the University of Pennsylvania. And him and this other doctor, Chris Peterson, they got together and they decided to find out what are the common virtues that that cultures all throughout history have valued. And so they got together 55 social scientists and they sent them out into the world and they to look for virtues and they went like big and they looked at philosophers and cultures and religions and what are the virtues, the common virtues found in all of them. But they also went really small and they looked at like organizational um organizational mission statements and Hallmark
Wow.
greeting cards and song
Really?
lyrics. And, so they like went big and they went small.
Micro, right.
And yeah, super cool. And they came up with 6 virtues, and they took those 6 virtues and they created like this chart of character strengths that align with
Really?
these 6 virtues. And there's 24 different character strengths that exist in all people to varying degrees.
Right.
And if you can focus on what they call your signature strengths, the one like the top 5, 3 to 5,
Yeah.
then you can live a more meaningful, happy, flourishing life. And it's about focusing on those things. It's exactly what you just said.
Cool. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I
I'm
actually
dying
have
to know what they are.
I mean, I don't know all of them offhand. I probably have like the chart somewhere. I could share it with you. So like my top strengths are curiosity, humor. I'm trying to think what else. I do the assessment every couple years. Like you can redo it because it shifts, right? Like
Yeah, I guess it would with your environment and your lifestyle and your where you're at in your life.
depending what's
For
going
sure.
on. And
Yeah, that would make
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
there's appreciation of beauty is one. Prudence is one.
Mm.
Spirituality, that's not me. Those are low on my list. Um, if you must know the truth. Consistently, I'll say. Consistently. Um,
That's funny.
yeah. So is it?
It
Um,
is.
so yeah, and there's a lot of study around it. Like, and one of my favorite things is and oh, I actually have the list right here. Uh, Now I look up, sometimes things in your environment, like you put up sticky notes and you forget that they're there. Okay, so you want to know another one of my signature strengths is zest.
Zest. Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, I know I'm zesty.
Yeah, I'd
Honesty
say
is
that.
one. Right, right. So yeah, so I would say humor, curiosity, zest. Okay, that's good. Prudence and prudence, self-regulation, and spirituality, not so much. Um, oh, bravery is probably one of mine too. But actually, I'll attach it to WorkWise Labs. Bravery is probably one of my signature strengths if I took the assessment. Now, since I started WorkWise Labs, because as you know, when you start a business, it's scary.
Hmm.
It's
Terrifying.
scary. It's terrifying.
Well, it's sickeningly addictively exciting, but
It's
also
so
absolutely
exciting.
terrifying.
Right. And you
You're
can't be
but
brave
ask
unless you
yourself
have
every day,
fear.
why am I doing this? Yes.
Yeah. So you can't have bravery unless you have that fear. So I would say, and like
It's
that's
true.
why what I mean, like with the circumstances of your life, those character strengths change. And and what they say is focusing on the strengths makes you happier and makes your life more meaningful. And so I have a
I can
training
believe
on
that.
that and how to bring that into the workplace.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and it's a really fun. I actually did it last week with a great group of for an all staff training for an organization, and there were about 55 people there, and that's a very popular training. So one of the things that I do with WorkWise Labs is I have team building workshops, and that's one of them that I do, and it's super
Wow.
fun. It gets people connected and talking and understanding themselves, but also understanding their colleagues, and it's really fun.
Wow, that's great. I know they're always in person, or can you do them, or you do them remotely too? Did you get into doing them remotely
I
or?
mean, there are certain ones I do remotely. I definitely have virtual versions of some of mine. I have a self-awareness training that's very popular. I did that self-awareness training today, actually, with a board of a nonprofit, and that one I could do virtually, but the
Mhm.
character strengths one I can't. That's like
Yeah.
really in person. Yeah.
Well, some of these things you just have to be. it's got to be in person. You
Yeah,
just can't get the same experience watching a screen and
right.
your dog and your kids are distracting you and your whatever
But I
else. You got
do
to be immersed in it is probably the best part. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have, as an educator, I am trained. I have my master's in multicultural education, and I am an educator. And as an educator, I do have some tricks to keep virtual trainings interesting.
Tricks.
I
Okay.
do. I
Good.
have a lot of tricks.
Okay, so let's go back a second because I have a question. So because you were in that serious long term work environment, and you said you made this decision to to vacate and leave that behind. What was it that what inspired you to start your own business, or was that the plan all along? Did you think
No, that
about
was
doing
not
that
the
before,
plan.
or was it sort of out of necessity kind of a thing?
It wasn't out of necessity. It was a choice, thankfully,
Yeah,
that I made.
yeah.
And so 2 jobs ago, 2 full-time jobs ago that I didn't work for myself, I got, certified in, positive psychology. So I went to the University
Mm.
of Pennsylvania, and I got a certification in positive psychology because it just really spoke to me, and it just felt so good. I was in the midst of all of the anti-bias work that I was doing, and, um, it really spoke to me. So I did that. And then um, I said to my boss there, she was great. I said, I think our workplace could use a little like positivity. And she was like, all right. And she said, and I said, can I play here? And she said, yeah. So I created a series of trainings that I did in that workplace, and they went really, really well. And then COVID hit. And
Oh yeah, nice. Good old COVID.
good old COVID.
Good old
So
COVID.
that kinda got paused there, but in the midst of COVID, I ended up getting a new job, and I was building an education and training unit for the Division on Civil Rights, and while I was there, I said to that great boss, she was fantastic, I said, "Can I play here?" And she was like, "Sure."
Sure,
So,
go
I
for
did
it.
that, and then she left, and then I got another boss, and I said to him, "Can I continue playing here?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So I was doing my job, but then
Yeah, yeah.
I was, like, experimenting and piloting things and writing new
What a
trainings
great
and
opportunity to put
yeah,
that to work, right? That's so
yeah,
great. And was originally you took this course because you thought you might be able to, involve it in your
yes,
professional role,
yes.
but and then you ended up doing it anyways at three different places. Well, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
well, 2 different places, yeah, and then I 2 different places, 3 different bosses,
Oh
and
yeah, right.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and then what and so then, like, people started hearing about it, and I come from an entrepreneurial family. So my father
Oh,
owns his
okay.
own
It's in the
business.
blood.
It is. My sister owns her own business. My brother owns his own business. My mother, when we were little, had her own business.
Okay.
And so everyone in my family, and so my brother actually said to me, he's like, well, actually, it was my dad. It was, we were at my son's sleepaway camp for parents' weekend, and we're all sitting around. And I was saying, like, oh, this place wants to hire me to do something because word of mouth, like, you start doing, and somebody says, oh, will you do this over here? And I
Yeah, I
said,
did
"Oh,
this great thing on the week on last week, and it'd be really awesome if we could do this. Yeah, the word
yeah,
just starts to spread. Yeah.
word just kind of started to spread. And my dad said, you really need an LLC. And I was like, oh, okay,
That sounds
great. Like,
serious.
I know. I was like, "Ugh,
Is
you
that a
always have to
treatment
ruin
or what is
everything,
that?
Dad." God, why
Is
did
that an ointment or is you rub it, apply it, or do you ingest it? Like what? What's an else?
That's exactly how I felt. And actually, that's how I feel in business sometimes. I'm like, "What is that?" I don't
I
people say
don't even know.
acronyms all the time, and I'm like, "I don't know what that means." Like, when you're a new business owner, it's like you're just figuring it out.
Yeah,
And I
yeah. and everyone else has got the jargon and oh man, yeah.
And I'm like Googling. I'm like, you're also a new business owner, and you're like, yes, sure, no problem.
Of course, I know what that is. Of course,
You know,
yes.
thank God for Google. I don't know what people used to do without Google. Anyway, so I created this LLC. I created Workwise Labs, and I started, for that first. It was a university wanted me to do something, so it was that first
So cool.
university, and I did it. And then my brother said to me, he's like, "You need to start talking to people and telling them."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I should, what? Like, like, at first I was like, what would I say?
I
And he was
can't
like,
do that.
I know. He was like, well, you're doing it anyway. Just tell people you're doing it. Just tell
Yeah.
them. You don't have to sell
Yeah.
it. Just tell them.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. And then,
It'll sell itself.
I mean, yeah, I mean, within, I would say probably 6 months, I got a pretty big contract at a university, and it allowed me to leave my job. And
Wow,
it was,
that's
it was,
great.
yeah,
Congratulations. That's really
thanks.
great. And now you're working. And who do you work with most? Like, do you do a lot of mostly group interactions, like with companies, or are you doing one on ones with people as well? Or
So I have like three big things that I do. The first thing is I have a leadership development program that I started. It's a 6 month
mm-hmm,
course, and it is for new or new-ish leaders,
mm-hmm,
and it's just really to help build their confidence, their leadership confidence, and it's going great, and I'm really happy with it. So I have that.
cool,
That's one piece. The second piece are the team building workshops. So I work with nonprofits and mission driven
right,
organizations.
right,
And so that's been going great. So I have team building workshops, all different kinds, like the character strengths, self-awareness, all different values, all different topics. And then I do coaching, one-on-one coaching.
very cool. And
And
so
I have
when
all
you're
different kind of clients, not just nonprofit actually. I have
right,
all different kinds of clients.
all different levels of the hierarchy of a business.
Mostly
Yep,
leaders and business
yep,
owners. Yeah,
yep.
and
What do you
attorneys.
find? What are you finding like in as far as leaders go? Like what are the issues right now? Like what are the main things that they're mostly coming to talk about? You don't have
What's
to give any
next?
names or what's next.
What's next?
Ooh. Like what's
What's
next in the world or what's next in their life?
Well, isn't their life their world? Yeah,
That's true too. That's true.
what's next is every single client that I
Is
have.
that right, eh? Hmm.
Every single one. And what's next is different for different people,
For
right?
sure, yeah. Depending on
So,
who they are, yeah.
yeah, so I have people who want to retire.
Yeah.
I have people and like figuring out that, like
How
succession
how am I going to do that? Yeah.
succession
Yeah.
planning, selling their business, um, and like, people get focused on that and then they forget well, what am I going to do in retirement?
Yeah.
Right?
Who am
Because
I who am I going to be?
who am I without without my work identity?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is
That's a
actually
lot of that's a
something,
big deal.
yeah, that's actually something that is a very, and I don't know if it's Canadian, but it's a very American thing. Your identity is your job.
Oh, I think it's a world thing.
It's not a world thing.
No?
Nope. It is
It's
not.
definitely North America. Definitely North America,
Okay,
I
so I
would
didn't
say.
know if it was a Canada thing, but
Oh yeah, for
like
sure.
in Israel,
What's the
that's
the
not
first thing you
identity.
do when you meet somebody is like, "What do you do?"
Right, here.
Right? Here.
But
Yes,
not
here.
there.
Yeah, North
Not
America.
there.
No?
Not no, I have a friend who's Indian, not in India. That is not the first thing that people talk about. Only here is
Well,
job.
we were driven by that, yeah.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
you
and
do is who you are.
even in Europe, look at Europe, like the whole Europe takes off August. Like they have like
True,
40
right. Yeah.
they have
They
like
have a different way.
40 vacation days a year. Like they do
Yeah.
not the value of work and career is very different.
Hmm. I wonder if UK would be the same.
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
I
could
don't
be
know.
interesting. That's very interesting. You don't think about that, but yeah, you're right. It's definitely certainly a
Yes.
Western society kind of approach to, what do you do and what we do and what we're, maybe there's something about this next generation. It's just like like I have kids who are 20 in their 20s, right? And then they're like making a choice or decision about where they want to be and what they want to do. I mean, it's a major decision, and they're having these existential life crisis, in their early 20s, not in their 40s and 50s like we're doing. They're
I've had some clients who were around. I just had a conversation with a woman who's 26, and she's highly educated, and she doesn't want to do that. And she spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on her education, and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
doesn't want to do it. So that's her what's next,
yeah.
you know? I mean, everybody wants to know what's next.
I
And I
wonder
feel
do
so
you think it's a place in our evolution right now, because there are so many uncertainties and unknowns that it's hard to really, try and envision what's next. Where do I go? What do I do?
no,
Or
I
is it
think
more
it's
about
innate.
the logistics of how do I get from here to there?
I don't know. I mean, that's what coaching is really about. Coaching is not therapy. It's about
We
coaching
were
is about
talking about that.
That's right.
Coaching
Coaching
is
is
not therapy, but
no.
it probably is a thin line.
Well, I think therapists might use coaching tactics,
Right,
but coaching is about asking questions, not
right,
telling people what to do, not diagnosing. And it's about possibility, what's possible, and it's about action planning.
right,
So that's
right.
why what's like answering that what's next question is a really great question for coaching. And that's really the question that every single client I have. is.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
And so then when you what how long does a one-on-one coaching session, relationship go? Can it be 6 months to 6 decades, or how long can it go? Is it just a
Yes. The answer is yes. I mean, it's individual. Everybody's
Yeah.
different, right? Everybody's different. But I mean, I have a coach. I'm not stopping anytime soon because there's always things that come up in my mind. Like, I don't know how to deal with this, or that thought that keeps you up at night, like that you're just like
Mhm.
ruminating on and you just need to figure it out. And that's what
Yeah.
coaching gives you is that space to figure it out
Yeah.
with someone who's trained to ask you the questions that will get
The
you
questions to trigger you to think through some of the things that you're working on. Right.
correct. And the coach can't know what the answers are.
No.
Like only you
No.
can. Yeah,
Yeah. But you have facilitate that conversation to help direct the way they think or the way they look at things that might give them their own answers. Right.
correct. And
Interesting.
find patterns. That's
Yeah.
something also that I realize I do a lot in coaching is like find people's patterns.
Right. Yeah, I was reading there was a few things that you kind of focus on. One is managing issues, or working with people who in managers that have issues with coworkers, for example. That's a common one that I read on your website.
Yes.
So is helping to explore, and utilize skills and talents, which we kind of talked about, is focusing on the things that you're actually good at and that you like to do. And then the other one is prioritizing needs, your own needs first. So the oxygen mask on the airplane theory, right, where you help yourself first before you can help somebody else.
Mhm.
So those are kind of you've highlighted those three things. Those seem to be kind of the larger sort of issues at hand that you tend to deal with most often. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably should update my website. Uh,
Oh, there's new ones. There.
no, I mean, now you're making me think, right? Like the what's next the what's next. That was a great coaching question. What do people ask? What do people want to know the most? Right.
Yeah. What do
And
they want to know?
nobody's asked me that.
No.
And that's a really important data point for me to focus on, is that people
Awesome.
want to know what's next. And I'm going to put that on my website. So
That's a
thank
great
you.
idea. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
I'm a marketing coach.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh no.
I'm starting today.
Yeah.
How's that?
See, things just happen sometimes. I mean, that's the nature of business, right? Like
That's exactly
things
it.
just happen.
Yeah.
You
Like
do,
how
yeah,
one of those questions. So that one about prioritizing your own needs first. Let's
yeah.
talk about that one, for example, because a lot of us can probably relate to that one. And how do you do that as a professional where you got to look after yourself before you can help anyone else on the plane, but um
It's
taking that
really
oxygen
interesting
mask
that
scenario. But
it's interesting that that's there, and it's making me think of something. I did a program in my leadership development course on leadership confidence.
hmm,
And you do have to take care of yourself, right? You have to understand, you have to have confidence when you're a leader. You have to take care of that part of yourself. You have to nurture yourself. You have to learn. You have to grow. You have all of that is true. And one of the things that I think is really important also is when you're a leader, it's actually not about you.
right.
It's about your team. So it's kind of both. It's like maybe a both and, right? It's like
Hmm.
you do have to take care of yourself and you do have to set boundaries and right have technical mastery. I'm like thinking of the things the things that we talked about yesterday. You have to have technical mastery, and if you don't, you have to know who does, right?
Right. Right.
You have to take care of yourself. You have to learn. You have to have high competencies, and know what those are, and check off the boxes. We give the new leaders a checklist to work on their confidence, and like
Right.
over the
Okay.
6 months we work on it. So you have to do that, and you have to invest in yourself, and you have to recognize that it's just not always about you.
Right.
And if you're going to lead and have a vision and drive the boat and stay the course, like
Because we're always wondering that, like, I mean, everyone's been in that position before. It's like, am I making sense to them? Or am I being a good leader right now? Or am I speaking with a leadership tone? Or, like you're always questioning, how am I coming across? Am I coming across as a leader? So we do kind of get a little bit self-focused and not really, how am I being received, as opposed to focusing on what you're delivering and
well,
how you're
how you're
delivering
being
it.
received is an important component
Yeah.
of leadership.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Well, that's a very important component of self-awareness. And people think, self-awareness is just about knowing yourself and your values and your passions and your aspirations and your goals
Right.
and all of those things. And that is part of self-awareness. But probably a bigger part of self-awareness is seeing how other people see you. And
Mm,
so in my and understanding that, and you see your impact on other people through feedback, through social cues,
right.
and really taking the time to understand that. And I liken that. I have an analogy that I use in my trainings.
All right.
Um, I call it the mirror and the portrait.
Mm.
And the mirror is, you look in that mirror and you see yourself, and
What you see is what you
sometimes,
get.
well, yes, and sometimes you're looking in a funhouse mirror, right?
Oh,
Like
yes. Right. Right.
sometimes your self-perception's a little off.
Right. You see what you want to see or
You
don't want
see
to
what you
see.
want. You see what you want to see, or you see what you don't want to see. And so it is important to see yourself clearly. And so that's
Sure.
part of self-awareness. And then we have the portrait, and every person you meet has painted a portrait of you.
Right.
And you may,
That's good.
isn't that good? It's
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
that's really
I
good.
know. It's like it helps people. I mean, I did this training today, and the room was very into the portrait. I mean, we talked about the portrait a lot. And you don't, when someone paints that portrait of you, they're painting it based on their own life experience,
Right. That
their
makes sense.
biases, their stereotypes, their perceptions. And
Their
that's
life experiences.
their life
Yes.
experiences. And that is data for you. That's data. You can
Yeah.
do with that data what you want. You can believe it, you can take it with a grain of salt, you can disregard it. But that portrait exists of you. So,
How do we learn about these portraits? Like how does, and I mean, people have perceptions of us, but how do we ever get that information? Because you don't always get honest feedback. You get
well, you do though. You
polished
have to pay
feedback.
attention. You have to pay
You have to,
attention
oh,
because
good point. You have to pay attention to
you have
see
to
the
pay attention.
feedback.
And I'll tell you a story that just happened about an hour. Well, now it was 2 hours ago because I was driving home from this and I was on the phone with my brother and he has to go to court today. He's calling it stupid court because it's at night because he did like
Night court.
it's night court and he does asbestos removal. He owns a business and he does asbestos removal and he was changing out the big what's it called? The big dumpsters. He was changing out the dumpsters in this client's driveway. He didn't have room. He put the dumpster on the street, the full one on the street for a minute and put the empty one in and then took and he got in trouble. So he had to go to court tonight. And my brother can be a little bit of a hothead. So I said to him, listen, I want to give you some unsolicited advice. And he said, what? I said, whatever they say to you, and because he's pissed, okay? It
Yeah.
was a whole story and he's pissed. I said, whatever they say to you in court, you do not have to answer right away. Take a minute, construct your thoughts, and then respond. And he's like, you know what? His girlfriend, he's like, my girlfriend also said to me the same thing. Am I, you all think of me as such a hothead? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
It's
shared with
actually
him a quote from Tasha Eurich, who is one of the lead researchers on self-awareness. And she says, feedback from one person is an opinion. Feedback from two people is a pattern. And
ooh.
feedback from three or more people is as close to a fact as you're going to get.
Ooh. Wow. That's
So
good
if
too.
you're hearing the same feedback over and over, that's a portrait right there.
That's the 1, 2, 3 theory.
The 1, 2, 3 theory?
Yeah. I just had to put a name to it. I don't know
Oh,
why, but
okay. Well, actually, I said that I once said that. The reason I'm questioning you saying that is because I once said this in a training. I did a training on this and I read that quote and someone said there's something like that in sales or in marketing
oh, really?
or manufacturing or something. So they said something like that. So I was thinking maybe you were
No. No, I just came
okay.
up with a way to remember that the 1, 2, 3 theory. It would be like, yeah, you hear it once. It's
Mhm.
say it again. Once
So
is
what okay, feedback from
an
one
opinion
person is an opinion. Twice is a pattern.
pattern,
3
and
is a
3 is a
fact.
fact. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. That's a good one. That's really
it
good.
is good, right?
Good takeaway there.
Yeah, so that's how you see the portrait, to answer
Yeah.
your question.
Right. Yeah. The feedback is there. I guess it's if we want to see it or hear it
It's
too.
one way. It's one way to see
Yeah.
the portrait.
Yeah. But you like you other said, like there's visual clues as well, like if I've been told I talk too much, but and that maybe in sort of social situations, I got to learn when to stop talking and maybe just read the room a little bit. So I was told that a few times. So it's probably a fact.
Oh, there you go. Well, social cues. Social
Yeah,
cues
and
is
so then
another way to
when
see.
as soon as that's brought, but that's as soon as it brought to your attention, it's like, oh yeah, people are starting to like look around the room and like, like I'm telling too long of a story, and I'm starting to see that people are zoning out, and it's like, oh, it's true. And so I was very conscious then afterwards, not subconscious, but I was aware of the fact that, yeah, maybe you could have cut the story back, by about 4 minutes, and maybe let the rest of it go by imagination. But
Yeah.
it's a great example of that. As soon
Well,
as it
there's
becomes an awareness.
yeah, yeah. And there's Thomas Cooley said, and this is a great quote. Now follow me here.
Okay.
I am not who you think I am. I am not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Isn't that good? That's called the looking glass self theory.
That's good
But
too. Wow.
yeah, I'm not
Interesting.
who you think I am. I'm not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am. Yeah, that's a lot to think about. Anyway,
So you're 2 years into your business now, and
yes.
you are, and you've cut the umbilical cord. You are
Yeah,
full on your own. Good, and you're
yeah.
loving it, and you're
Love it.
busy, and that's so great.
Yeah.
And where are you? What's next? Like, what's next for you in your business?
Well, I am in the next right now.
Right.
I still feel like I am I'm just this is so new and exciting. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it
said
is
it before.
still new. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's so new. It's so exciting. New things happening every day. I have dreams, I have vision, and I think the difference between, you know, failure and success, everyone has dreams, everyone has vision,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the actual doing. And so I
Mm-hmm.
am actually doing, and
Nice.
that's really exciting. And so, yeah, so I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing. That is what's next. I am doing.
You were doing, that's the next part. Yeah. And vision wise, you said, like you were saying, you have visions, you have dreams. Do you see more of what you're doing now in the near future, or do you see something bigger?
Oh,
Uh,
I'm growing. I'm big. I'm going
yeah.
big,
Okay.
baby. I'm going
What is grow?
big.
What does that look like? Give me an
I don't
idea.
know what it looks like, and I'll tell
Oh
you
yeah.
something.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah.
I just worked with this guy. He was like, "Oh, I love this program that you developed. Can I license it?" And I was like,
What does that mean?
with Googling, yes, you can. And then I'm like Googling, what does it look like to like, what do I have to do to license my stuff? Right. So I got an attorney and, like, I didn't even know that that was a thing.
Oh, is that what he
And
did? He licenses
he
people's
licensed one of my programs.
intellectual property, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I had to go through that process. And so now I've learned that. So it's like, I don't even know what's next
Right.
because every day new things are happening.
That's an exciting place.
I know. It's very
Yeah, very
exciting.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you're primed and positioned for growth at some point. When the vision hits you, you'll know what that looks like, and where that's going to be. But for now, you're growing your business. And how do you grow it? What do you do to reach other people? Is it mostly word of mouth, or are you actually out, cold calling and doing the no,
I don't do
no.
cold calls. No. Who likes
What do
cold
you
calling?
how do you get your word, how do you get the name out there? How do you get this out?
So I have found that two things really work for me. Um, Networking, meeting people, having conversations like
Yeah,
this, just
one-on-one
talking.
person.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
talking to people. That's number one. And the second way I get business is people see what I do. So when
Mm.
somebody sees a program, then they hire me.
Or
So I
experience, they experience the
what the
program.
right, to
Yeah.
know the value of what I do, you have to experience it. So
Experience it.
I every month I hold a free 15-minute workshop called Just a Touch, and I have because it's like just a touch of a training, and
Yeah.
so like and I do different themes. So this morning I did one called Just a Touch of Resolving Conflict. Last month I did Just a Touch of Self Awareness. Next month I'm doing Just a Touch of Motivation. And so I do these little 15-minute, they're free. Anyone can come. It's on Zoom, super easy.
Oh,
Go to
really?
Yeah,
I'm
come.
coming. I'm
Okay.
coming. I am. I'm
It's
gonna do all of them.
all right. So you come to all of them. So go to workwiselabs.com, right on the main page, public programming. You can click and register. Come.
I'm gonna do that. I am. And then
Yeah,
hopefully
it's
it's the
only
next
15 minutes and I feel
I
like I have
know.
to like
That's it's easy.
it,
That's an easy commit.
it's an easy commit.
I can do that. There's two words that you had on your website too that I read, and fun and supportive. Like
Mhm.
people want to work in a fun and supportive environment, and
Yes.
you talk a lot about, um, you know, working with conflict or working through conflict, and you find, and it's funny because I consider myself more of a positive personality as well. And I always think, well, most places are fun and supportive, aren't they? And as you start to, get to know people in places and different kinds of work environments and companies and stuff like that, no, there's a lot of conflict. And
There is a lot of conflict.
there's a lot of people that thrive on conflict. It's almost like it wouldn't be a proper workplace if it was fun and supportive. You can't have a workplace without conflict, right? I think there's a belief around that. And how is that? Is there some truth to that? Or do you think it's an outdated philosophy?
No, there is no there is no workplace on earth that doesn't have conflict.
Right.
And I would add that not all conflict is bad.
Okay.
In fact, if you would come to my Just a Touch of Resolving Conflict this morning, you would know
I would know.
that
Next month, I'll know.
I'm just kidding. I didn't even know you this morning. So, that when conflict is addressed, 3/4 of the time, 75% of the time, it resolves and relationships are better for it.
That's a crazy number.
When it is
Wow.
addressed. When it is
Right.
addressed in the right way, in a healthy way, it gets resolved and relationships grow. Conflict is not a bad thing
No.
all the time. It's not.
No.
It's only bad when people don't address it, when it goes unaddressed.
Right.
That's when it's bad. And that's why most conflict goes unaddressed. But when it gets addressed in the right way, 75% of those conflicts actually improve the relationship.
And that's something you can teach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
We have a
Cool.
whole conflict strategy called the one-to-one strategy that that I developed. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to take too. I love this stuff. I could take these
Great.
courses
Oh,
all
you
day
gotta
long.
come. You
Okay,
gotta
I'm
come
coming.
to it
I am.
all. Yes, and I do it in a fun way because to your point of fun and supportive workplaces, um, people stay at jobs where they feel supported and they're having a good time. And how do you gamify the workplace? So
Right.
I had at my last job, at my last place, I had a team. There was probably 7 or 8 of us, and we did trainings. And I created a game, and the game was guess how many people are actually going to show up. So we had a limit of 90 registrants per training. And so we had a Google sheet and we all had a column, and whoever got the most in a quarter like Q1, Q2. Whoever got the most right would get a Friday afternoon off. So everyone
Nice.
played it. And if you got closest to it, to the number, you got a point. And if you hit the number on the head, like if you were right on, you got 2 points.
Nice.
So everyone
Nice.
was like super into it. And you gamify, and it's about work, right? You
Yeah.
gamify it and it makes it fun.
Yeah. That is fun. Cool. Cool tricks. Sounds like a great business, and sounds like you are really into it and you're very good at it. So I can't wait to take one of your courses, or all 4 of them. And I hope some other people listening will hear this too, and take you up on that as well, and try out one of your 15-minute courses. But thank you for this time with me. I really have enjoyed meeting you, talking with you about what you're obviously super passionate and what you're really good at and focused on those things. And just thank you for sharing yourself with us on this episode. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Heath.
Well, that was a really great chat. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. What I love about what Alissa is doing is that it ties together the heart and science of great leadership, and how understanding bias, focusing on what's right with people, and leaning into positive psychology can truly transform a workplace. And that leadership isn't just about guiding others, it's about nurturing yourself, staying self-aware, and learning to turn conflict into connection. And I think that is a powerful reminder for anyone. So if you're curious to learn more about WorkWise Labs or Alissa's leadership development workshops, please check out her website at workwiselabs.com. And thank you for joining me today for the Healthy Enterprise. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with friends if you think they could get something out of it as well. Until next time, stay curious, keep growing, and keep building workplaces where people truly thrive. Bye for now.